places they start fighting with each other. And so, what is the reason for that? That people are gathering to worship, but then they end up fighting with each other.
They're worshipping to the ego. Instead of saying Allahu Akbar, they say Allahu Akbar. I am the greatest, not you. Not you, I am the greatest. The other one saying, no, I am the greatest. Yeah, so, you start fighting. If you say only Allah is the greatest, you really believe in that, you cannot get along with this one. So what? You cannot get along with this one. So what? You're here to worship, right? Worship. Are you come to the masjid to fight or to worship? To worship. Worship. If you come to the masjid to fight, then that time you're not worshipping Allah. You're worshipping your own ego. That time you're coming to the masjid to fight. Allah, Allah. You see, this is why tariqat is important. Because tariqat, it is for us to say La ilaha illallah with haqq, with yaqeen, to get rid of the ilahs. If you still have an ilah there, you are committing a shirk. Astaghfirullah. We are not Wahhabis to say you shirk, you bid'ah, you haram this. But sometimes it became necessary for us to say, if you don't get rid of your ilahs, you can say La ilaha illallah as much as you want. You still have an ilah inside of you. There is still a shirk inside of you. It is a hidden shirk. It is not open. There is such a thing as a hidden shirk. It is so dangerous that the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the hidden shirk, it is more difficult to detect than a black ant on a black rock in the blackest part of the night. That's why the awliya Allah, they say, now you say by tongue, we must say by heart. Now say by heart, look into your heart, open your heart, understand what are the ilahs inside your heart and get rid of it. You still have a lot of anger, that's an ilah. Get rid of it. Otherwise, you can be worshipping, but the anger will burn all your worship. Before it reaches up to a level, not to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just to a level of the heavens, the angels will see and throw it back to your face. You still have a lot of jealousy, it'll burn. Jealous people, they cannot even smell a paradise. You understand how serious this matter is? Tariqat is not optional. It's not optional. Oh, you have extra time. You're thinking too many things. You're a little bit spiritual and you enter into tariqat. Tariqat, especially in the Naksibendi Osmanli tariqat, it goes back to the root of the problem now. Now it is beyond praying, fasting, giving sadaqah. Now it is a reason why you're doing these things and to look at your intention, if your intention is correct or not. If it is really for the sake of Allah or not. If there's any interference or not. So many people, I'm looking, yes. They go to the masjids. You know, we pray very fast, right? There's a reason for that too. There is a hadith for that. I'm not going to go into it. But sometimes we do that to test people a little bit too. We see, I know they don't really pray sunnat at home. They just pray farz, giving salams. But because we pray the sunnat, so they're forced to pray the sunnat. And so they pray the sunnat and they pray so slowly. You want to pray slow? You good. You can pray slow. Please do. I'm not stopping you. But you know by yourself if you're praying to show off, to make a show or not. Because the shame is going to tell you, I don't really pray at home, so I am ashamed now to make a show as if I'm so in khushu that people are going to look at me and say, wow, what a holy person he is. Because I know myself, I don't really pray that much. So let me just pray more with sincerity, more with astaghfirullah, than to make a show that I'm praying with real khushu so that people can praise me. You understand? So why do people fight? Because they are Ahli Jahannam. Because they still have fire of Jahannam inside of them. They didn't get rid of it yet. How are you going to get rid of it? That's the time you have to be under a master. It's not just by reading and making a zikr and everything that you are going to get rid of your anger. You cannot. So many people, they're very good in praying and everything, but that's a time when the master pushes a button a little bit, their anger will start burning everything. They fail. You understand? So now slowly, when you are under a master, under a sheikh, the sheikh will test you a little bit, will guide you a little bit to make you understand why you're doing things. What is the reason? Because in reality, so many people, they do things without even knowing why they do it. They're angry without knowing why they're angry. They're jealous without knowing why they're jealous. If they sit down to think where this is coming from, why am I doing this? They're already in tafakkur. If you are making tafakkur, that time sitting down just to think is better than 70 years of voluntary worship. This is hadith. You can make 70 years of voluntary worship. You make a show one time, all that worship may be burned, cancelled. Isn't it? So now we are going to the root of the problem now. But people, they're not interested, because for them, religion is not that. Religion is what? Bowing up and down, wearing Islamic clothes, making a show, going to Hajj like it is a vacation. That is religion. You understand? Spirituality is something else. So we want the spirit. We don't want the form. We want the spirit. The form, Shaitan only sees the form. He doesn't understand the spirit. That's why when you look at Adam alayhi salam, he says this is clay, dirty. But he doesn't understand the spirit that is coming by one holy breath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when people are fighting, we just leave them. This is the time of Jababira anyway, biting tyranny. It's going to happen. Assalamu alaikum.